Welcome back to a B6 and Beyond match day vlog, and yeah, you're here with me at the moment. I am going to meet Cory at the game, and it is the first European game of the season with Bologna at home. And yeah, as you can see, I've already got my seatbelt on because I'm running a little bit behind schedule. Yeah, anyway, so don't really know what to expect for tonight's game, especially with how we have started the season. Don't know what side Emery's going to put out. I really do hope we see Sancho, Harvey Elliott from the start, really, because I think especially Sancho, when he come off the bench against Sunderland, he gave us that little bit of a bit of spark, a bit of impotence to actually go forward and actually create something. He did more in that 8 minutes that he was on than what Morgan Rogers, for example, for me, did in the whole of the game against Sunderland. So I really do hope we do see him from the start, and I can't wait to see him up to full match speed, match fitness, sorry. I think tonight's going to be a really weird night. I really just hope the Villa fan base, we get behind the boys, because ultimately, especially with the amount of tickets that we have sold for the game, it could be a really weird atmosphere in Villa Park. And if we don't take the lead early, I genuinely get worried. I am worried to see what happens, because if we go 1-0 down, if the fans don't get behind the players, and if we get on the back of the players, it could become a really toxic environment. I hope not. Obviously, we had the news in the week around Monchi leaving. There was then the whispers that potentially Unai Emery could be going, but with Roberto Alabi coming in and Unai Emery's future looking up, all but set, it is confirmed, it is set in stone that he will be at Aston Villa long term. He is part of the club's long term growth plan. He is Mr. Aston Villa. It makes me think that it's more than, it's not the player, that's the issue. It is potentially the players. But you've seen there's been statements coming out saying that there's a massive lack of confidence in the squad. It is time now to see a reaction. The boys need to just show a bit of fight, show a bit of passion, and get a result over the line. And ultimately, yeah, I get it. Football is a massive confidence game. And if they need the fans to get behind them, to give them that little spark, little boost, it is our job as fans to get that done. So I'm really hoping that the Villa fan base get behind the boys tonight. On that note, let's get to Birmingham. Right, so I'm with Cory now. We're inside Villa Park, and yeah, team news doesn't really fill me with much excitement seeing Emi Buendia on the pitch again. Morgan Rogers, what does he need to do to get a rest? Cory, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, it's a strange one. Obviously, no Emi Martinez either. Don't know what that's about. Watkins not playing. Obviously, he's not scored yet this season, but we haven't exactly got a massive goal threat. No Harvey Elliott, no Jadon Sancho. I thought this could be time for them to get minutes. Listen, we've got to be positive. It's a Europa League game. It's a big game. It's a game that could be a turning point if we get a win, but it's a weird team, to say the least.
I think it's going to be a real weird atmosphere in Villa Park tonight, so I'm going to flip this camera around just quickly. And look, you can see already, like, the ground, it just looks bleak. There's so many empty seats. I don't know what to say. Like, I could not believe for a Europa League game we haven't got this many people down at Villa Park. For me, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, listen, we're not playing well at the moment, but one thing we need to be doing is getting behind the boys. I understand that prices and stuff might be a factor for people, but like you say, we've got a tight tifo coming up with no one in the whole end. It's worrying signs, to say the least, but it's one of them, innit?
What's your score prediction?
3-1 Villa.
I'm going to go for a cagey 1-0. Hopefully we get a win and finally get off the board with a win. And on that note, last one, up the Villa. Just don't it's half time at Villa Park and Aston Villa are winning 1-0 from a lovely goal from John McGinn. And my thoughts are genuinely we've been okay, done pretty well in certain periods. I was very... That shot from Rodgers for the McGinn goal was very peculiar. Who do you think can stand out to start?
I like the way Marlon's been playing. He's pulled up to him a few times. He's turning quickly. I think he just needs that confidence to put the ball in the back of the net. Gets on terribly. I think it needs to put the pressure down a bit.
I think Marlon's link-up play quite well. I think he's held the ball up pretty well. Obviously he's going to lose it at times, so at the end of the day the bloke's only a fucking dot. He's not exactly the tallest bloke in the world, is he? And he's been expected to play basically the hold-up man role, which, you know, he's doing a decent job of it. I think Matson's done okay.
Matson's done alright, Cashman's done well.
Defensively he's done alright.
The yellow card, I think.
I don't think they've really worried us defensively, really, to be honest with you. They had, you know, maybe a half scare in the first half, but
I think the biggest thing now is just getting an extra goal, and I think it's almost we need to talk about Morgan Rodgers again. Decision making at the wrong time.
Yeah, that run through.
He looked shot. I mean, the turn it was prime Morgan Rodgers. The pass itself was very poor. I think
you either go early with the pass,
yeah,
or you take the shot, and he was in two minds. And this is the problem with Rodgers at the moment. He's so indecisive with everything he's doing.
I think he's worried to make the wrong decision. I think it was that thing of he left it too late where he probably should be having a shot, and I think instead he's thinking, if I mess up this shot, everyone's going to be on my back if he doesn't want, and instead he has to make it messing up the pass, which is probably an easier option. It's a difficult moment at the moment for him. I think the turn, like I say, was brilliant. Hopefully he will probably play at least 20 minutes in this half, so if he get another chance he'll make it right and get another couple of goals hopefully. We look like scoring whenever we go forward. Well, the chances are there to score when we go forward.
I'm really impressed with them, to be honest with you. I think we will see Rodgers come off in the second half.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to give him a bit of a rest. I think we will see Harvey Elliott. I think we will see Jadon Sancho in the second half. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Watkins.
I think this is the game for him to get his first goal potentially. Massive confidence boost going into Fulham on Sunday. So yeah.
Well, he's currently training alone behind us, which is a bit peculiar. Like, he was doing a bit of work with the fitness coach as well, just so I don't know if he's planning on coming on a little bit earlier than the rest. He looks, I'd say, quite ready to come on. Well, that's just speculating. He will be on in the second half. Yeah, hopefully Villa can kick on and go and win the game 2-3. 3-0 would be nice and take some confidence into that Fulham game. So we'll leave you at that point and we will be back at full time to give our post-match reaction of the Villa. And we're here after an Aston Villa 1-0 win against Bologna, and it wasn't pretty, but ultimately we got the job done. The second half, yeah, what do you think? I thought it was all right up until the penalty.
That was it, really. I think, to be honest with you, I mean, we did a bit of half-time. Hopefully you can hear it, obviously the stadium being quite loud. Up until the penalty, I think it was our game, really, to lose, and they tried their hardest to do that, I think, in the last sort of 15-20 minutes, giving Bologna a bit too much respect, I think. But, like I say, up until the penalty, dare I say, it was almost like watching a bit of old Villa for a bit. Not to the same level, don't get me wrong, but the passage of plays were nice. Watkins, the way he won the penalty, the run that he made, and obviously getting across his man. Marlon was playing well. Sancho coming on, he made things happen occasionally. Gesson was getting the ball. It just, like I say, as soon as that penalty missed, everyone's heads dropped, and it almost felt like we know what's going to happen. Thankfully, it didn't.
I thought Rodgers, I mean, not Rodgers, I thought, we'll get on to Rodgers in a minute. I thought Watkins did well. I thought he was making all the right runs, getting behind, and like we just spoke off air, sorry. His movement for the penalty was fantastic, and the way he got across the defender and won the penalty. That was like Watkins, which we expect.
I mean, I'd like to see how close it was offside, because I think from what we said straight away we thought it was offside. But that is what Ollie Watkins is so good at, being able to time those runs brilliantly, and like I say, to take it across the player brilliantly as well to win the penalty. it's just it shouldn't have been.
It was a shit penalty, wasn't
Really
it?
bad penalty.
Really bad penalty, as you've just seen. Because I've just put it in the video. I just think he needs to come off penalties now. But who takes them now is another question,
issue, isn't it?
which we won't discuss at this point because we could go on all day. We could think all of our they're all shit at penalties, aren't they? Realistically. So obviously we missed the penalty, and then from there it was like you could just see the nerves coming to the side, and it was just really edgy, weren't it? It was just like everyone just seemed really on edge, and it was just it was not good.
It was almost straight after where they hit the crossbar as well, and I think that gave Bologna
probably should have scored.
Yeah, I think that gave Bologna a bit of hope that they probably didn't have. I think they sort of came to the game. Do you know what? It might sound silly to say, I think they would have been happy with a 1-0 result. I think the way they were playing, they were slowing the game down. They were happy to sort of take 1-0, I think, and then try and hit us at the end, and they almost did. Other than that, I don't really think they had any chances that I can remember. There was a few sort of pop shots where Bizot made comfortable saves. The chance at the end where, again, I'd have to take a proper look at it, but it did look a bit of a dramatic save at Bizot. But
oh yeah, they're definitely making that sound. Like for everyone in the stadium, you would have heard you'd have heard like a wow, like, you know, like massive cheers. If he let that go in the net, you would be extremely disappointed. It would have been an incredibly poor goal to give away. So it was a save he's expected to make. I think we do need to just briefly touch on player performances, and I think the big one is Morgan Rogers. First thing I want to make very clear, the Villa fan base have every right to feel pissed off with Morgan Rogers and his performance levels. I don't think cheering when he played that pass correctly was the right way to go about it. But the person I blame for that situation is Unai Emery. Morgan Rogers, his performance was terrible tonight, and I don't know, you might remember it, but there was a stat where he lost the ball 27 times, I think it was tonight. It was around that figure, wasn't it?
27 or 29, I think Martin Keown was saying on TNT.
Which is incredibly poor.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you could see at the 60th minute we could see he was having a bad game. Just take him off, and the fact that Harvey Elliott hasn't come on that pitch tonight, he must be seething.
I think there's a few things. I think when it comes to him losing the ball, listen, there was a few times he lost the ball trying to dribble out, which last year's Morgan Rogers wouldn't have had any issues. There was other times where, as you said at one point, he was trying passes that maybe were a bit more difficult, and I think he was trying that for the sole reason of trying something different, which, okay, you don't mind it occasionally, but then there was other times where his passing, it was simple passes and he wasn't making it. The one we mentioned in the first half, at the end of the first half, he really should have played it into Buendia and didn't.
So he had a 42% pass completion. Obviously, he had the miss as well in the first half for the Miggin goal. Like, watching that back, he's got to put that away. Like any top level footballer, I know he's not left-footed, but realistically, you come on to he only needs to make a decent connection with it, and that's flying into the net. It was a really well worked set piece as well. I thought. You know, apparently he was moaning at a few of his players as well during the game, which I didn't really see as much like from being in the stadium, but that's a message I've received. I think the thing is now, Unai Emery has kind of backed himself into a position like, what do you do now with Morgan Rogers? Because if you take him out, that could completely blow his confidence now. I think you have to stick with him next game.
I think the difficult part is, as you mentioned, and we're not going to go into digging Unai Emery out at all. Well, at the end of the day, we've won the game. That's the important thing. We've won the game. We're going to Fulham now with a bit more confidence. We've not conceded. We've scored a goal. But, as you mentioned, Morgan Rogers should have come off after 60. To be honest with you, he shouldn't have played at all. This was the perfect game to give him a rest and get him back up to full fitness, that sort of thing. But he should have come off after about 60 minutes. He wasn't having a good game. He was trying things because he was trying to make things happen, and it didn't work. Harvey Elliott, as you say, he must be thinking, I must be starting next game if this is the case, because if he's not starting next game, there's serious questions as to why we bothered signing him, because that's a real big talent there at Harvey Elliott, and he should be playing in games like that.
Especially with the bits that came out about him, like not being Emery's first choice, and apparently being Lucas Paquetá, which, you know, that's balmy, absolutely balmy that's come out. So, you know, I think we need to take the positives. Ultimately, you know,
It's a win.
It's a win.
It's
It's the first win of the season, so we're off the board. And the thing is, which is good to see, you could see that the players were pissed off. You could see that the players were still very unhappy. Like, we picked up on it at the end, didn't we? We seen Ezri Konsa. He just straight down the tunnel. He weren't even just like slow. He got off that pitch pretty quickly.
Rogers obviously was straight down the tunnel. I think his, to be fair, you could see, I think he's just upset with his performance, and I think he just didn't want to face the fans, which, again, as you've mentioned, Villa fans have got every right to moan. He's not playing well, but there's also certain things. He's 23 years old. He's still a young lad.
Yeah.
As I say, the fake cheering when he completed a pass, it's not on at all. At the end of the day, he's having a tough game. He's made the pass. Spur him on. Get behind it.
It was always going to happen though. Like, I think because of how bad he was, and it was just a build up. And to be fair, it's not even just a build up of today. This is a build up of, you're talking of months of poor performances now. And I really do. I'll be honest. I blame Unai Emery. I don't think he's managed that situation very well, in my opinion.
Not at all. And the problem is, as well, as we say, he's bought someone like Harvey Elliott in. Yes, whether or not he was first choice, that's not relevant. He's bought Harvey Elliott in to compete with Rodgers. And when Rodgers isn't playing well, that's when you need to drop players. At the end of the day,
he's a top player as well.
Yeah, they're both very good players. At the end of the day, hopefully it's a case of Watkins, Rodgers, when they get their first goal, bit of contribution, they'll kick on like they have done last season.
One player I'd like to quickly talk about, actually there's a couple, but we'll start off with Robin Gesson. I think he's being called on X at the moment because he was called on apparently on comms. Evan Gesson. What's your thoughts? Because I got to be honest with you, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm not convinced with him. I think he's defensively looks really good, but when he's going forward and he's trying to run at people, he looks very like Bambi on ice. He don't look like he never looks like he's in control.
Do you know what? This is going to be a bit controversial. I'm going to sort of take a flip side version of that. I think it could be a case of when he gets his first goal, he's just going to explode. I
bloody hope so.
I think it's a case of, like you say, he does look a bit nervous when he's on the ball, but the one thing you can see is he is rapid. Like, the amount of times today he'd sort of take a poor touch, but he's quick enough to get round people, which really helps. His decision making at times wasn't the best. I think he should have took a shot earlier in the first half when he went through. He went past the defender and tried to pull it back when I think Watkins was the only one in the box, and Watkins was obviously 6-yard box. But he's an interesting player because for the reasons we've signed him, we've not seen it. But then for the reasons that we haven't signed him defensively, he's done really well. He didn't have to do a lot of defending today, to be fair. I
think he's very raw.
He is very much raw. Coming from the French league as well, it's not an easy league. Well, it's an easier league than the Premier League. So to come into this league, it's different.
And the final one for me that I really want to single out for high praise is, I know you've probably got people to speak about, but Boubacar Kamara. Yeah. I think tonight, listen, Bologna weren't very good in my opinion. I thought they were pretty average, and I think, if that's Villa at full tilt, we'd probably score 3 or 4 past them. But Boubacar Kamara, in his role as a defensive midfielder, did absolutely everything you would expect to him. He was mopping up play, winning the ball, offloading the ball, and you know what? When he was in possession of it as well, he looked after it. He did that one bit of play in the midfield where he flicked it over that player's head, and he just the bloke absolutely oozes class. I love Boubacar Kamara. I could wax lyrical about that guy every day of the week. Like, I'm pretty sure most of the Villa fan base could, and everyone listening to this could. I bet you all would wax lyrical to Boubacar Kamara. But yeah, did you enjoy his performance?
Yes, of course. I think 80% of the world's covered by water. The other 20% is covered by him. I'd say he is that good of a player. It's just like you say. Every time that sort of who do we play? Bologna. Every time Bologna came forward, he was just there. He was playing left back, he was playing right back, he was playing centre back, he was playing in the 6, he was playing as a number 10 at times. He was just everywhere. And I think he's one of those players, specifically when Pau Torres is playing, his performances, they're already a good level, but they just step up even further. Because I think Pau Torres finds him in some of the best places, and he's able to take the ball in the half turn and place. We spoke about this actually in the podcast before the season started. Kamara's long range passing is so underrated as well. He does the simple stuff but he can also knock a ball, and that's something that obviously doesn't get talked about enough.
No, you are right, to be fair. Is there anyone else you want to highlight?
Yeah, there's two. We won't go into as much detail, but Daniel Marlon today, I thought he was a lot better. I think his hold-up play was really decent. He was getting into positions. I think he probably should have had a goal as well. I think he took too long on the ball. And the other one, as much as a lot of people won't agree, I think Matty Cash again was excellent today. And I think this season, whether people like it or not, yeah, right, he's had a couple of mismatches, but I think he's probably been one of, if not our best player this season. I don't know if it was given as offside in the end, but there's one where he's flown across and blocked the ball against. There was people talking before the game today about the player who's up against the winger drawing 6 fouls a game. Matty Cash bullied him. He got a yellow card, which I think is a harsh yellow card, if I'm being honest. And then
he done well on a yellow card.
Yeah,
he did.
Jonathan Rowe came on.
I'll be honest. I'm not one of Matty Cash's biggest fans. I do think it's a position where Villa could look to upgrade. If I'm going to be honest with you, but defensively, he has impressed me in pretty much most of the games this season, apart from, as I'll say, the Crystal Palace game, which I thought he was terrible. But tonight he definitely done his job very well. I think he marshalled both. You know, that guy you just said, and then Jonathan Rowe. Who You know,
well, this is the thing, when Jonathan Rowe comes on, last 10 minutes, he's going to be running at Matty Cash. Matty Cash on a yellow card, but he was brilliant. And the thing is as well, which I think works really well, is he bosses Gesson around. There was one point where
some screaming.
Yeah, there was two people coming towards Cash, and he's screaming at Gesson to get out so Cash can cover it. And his interceptions today as well was brilliant. His passing was brilliant as well. The ball's over the top. I think he played really well, and obviously Bizot as well. Fair play to him.
So just a reminder, guys, if you've made it this far, that we do have an ongoing giveaway for either match tickets or a shirt of your choice. Just all you need to do to qualify is hit that subscribe button, and also we have a like goal for the video of 20 likes, so please make sure to drop a like on the video, because it really does help the channel grow. Thank you for your support, and as always,
up the Villa.